2 aircraft, 350 lives, one fatal misunderstanding. On November 12, 1996, above the fields of Charkhi, Dadri, India, a tragedy unfolded that would rewrite aviation safety protocols. It was a clear evening, visibility excellent, yet 2 commercial airliners found themselves on a collision course, thousands of feet above the earth. The silence of the night was shattered, not by an explosion, but by a catastrophic impact that would leave no survivors. Kazakhstan Airlines Flight 1907, a Soviet-built Ilyushin Il-76, was descending into Indira Gandhi International Airport in Delhi. On board were 37 passengers and 10 crew members, mostly Kazakh nationals, many heading to India for trade. At the same time, Saudi Arabian Airlines Flight 763, a Boeing 747, was climbing out of Delhi, bound for Dhahran, carrying 312 passengers and 23 crew members. The Delhi Air Traffic Control, or AC, was responsible for guiding both aircraft. At the time, Delhi was one of the busiest airports in the world, yet its airspace management was under immense pressure. The region's air traffic was growing rapidly, straining existing infrastructure and procedures. This particular evening, that strain would prove fatal. Flight 1907, the Kazakh jet, was cleared to descend to 15,000 feet. Flight 763, the Saudi jumbo, was cleared to climb to 14,000 feet. A standard vertical separation of 1,000 feet, which should have kept them safely apart. But something went terribly wrong. The 2 aircraft were on the same airway, heading towards each other. The critical instruction from Delhi ATC to Flight 1907 was to maintain 15,000 feet. The radar showed them descending below this assigned altitude. ATC repeatedly queried the Kazakh crew, asking them to confirm their altitude and to climb back up. The responses from Flight 1907 were, at best, confusing. The investigation would later reveal a crucial detail. The Kazakh crew, while proficient in Russian, had limited English language skills. The Delhi ATC controller, however, was communicating in English. This wasn't just an accent issue. It was a fundamental barrier to clear, concise communication in a high-stakes environment. In aviation, English is the international language. All pilots and controllers operating in international airspace are expected to be proficient. But standards and enforcement varied significantly in the mid-90s, especially for airlines from former Soviet bloc nations transitioning to global operations. This gap in communication was a ticking time bomb. As the Kazakh jet continued its descent, the Saudi 747 was steadily climbing. Both crews were likely unaware of the imminent danger. The Il-76, according to its flight data recorder, was descending through 14,500 feet, then 14,000 feet. It had breached its assigned altitude by a significant margin. The ATC controller, struggling to get a clear response from Flight 1907, began to realize the gravity of the situation. He tried to warn Flight 763, but it was too late. At 6:40 p.m. local time, the 2 aircraft collided head-on, approximately 100 kilometers west of Delhi. The impact was devastating. The tail section of the Saudi 747 was severed by the wing of the Ilyushin. Both aircraft disintegrated in midair, raining debris over a wide area. There was no chance for survival for anyone on board either plane. 349 lives were extinguished in an instant. Emergency services were immediately dispatched, but the scale of the disaster was immense. Rescuers faced a grim scene in the fields near Charkhi, Dadri. The sheer number of victims, the widespread wreckage, and the shock of the event left an indelible mark on all involved. The subsequent investigation, led by India's Aircraft Accident Investigation Bureau, was rigorous. They recovered both flight data recorders and cockpit voice recorders. These black boxes held the key to understanding the final moments and, more importantly, the events leading up to the collision. The cockpit voice recorder from Flight 1907 provided chilling evidence. The Kazakh crew had acknowledged the 15,000 foot instruction, but their internal communications revealed a misunderstanding. They believed they were cleared to descend to 15,000 feet, then further down to 14,000 feet after passing the Saudi jet. This misinterpretation was a critical error. Whether it stemmed from a direct language barrier, a cultural difference in communication, or a combination of both, the outcome was the same. The Kazakh crew descended into the path of the climbing Saudi 747. The investigation also highlighted issues with the Delhi ATC. While the primary fault lay with the Kazakh crew's deviation, the ATC system lacked modern technology like radar with conflict warning systems. The controller was essentially relying on visual scanning and verbal commands, which proved insufficient. Furthermore, the Indian airspace was not segregated. Commercial and military flights often shared the same corridors, adding to the complexity. This lack of dedicated airways for different types of traffic amplified the risk in an already busy and technologically limited environment. The Charkhi-Dadri collision became a stark reminder of the global nature of aviation safety. An incident in one country, involving airlines from two others, underscored that a weakness anywhere in the system could have catastrophic consequences everywhere. In the wake of the disaster, significant changes were implemented. The International Civil Aviation Organization, ICAO, reinforced the importance of English language proficiency for all international pilots and air traffic controllers. Testing and certification became much stricter. India also upgraded its air traffic control infrastructure, investing in modern radar systems and conflict detection technology. Airspace segregation was implemented, creating dedicated corridors to reduce congestion and improve safety margins. The crash also led to the implementation of a mandatory 10-mile exclusion zone around airports for all aircraft flying in opposite directions. This simple, yet effective, rule aimed to prevent similar head-on collisions during ascent and descent phases. The human element of this tragedy, however, remains heartbreaking. Families on both sides lost loved ones due to a chain of events that culminated in a single, fatal miscommunication. Their journeys, whether starting or ending, were cut short by an avoidable error. Charkhi-Dadri serves as a somber lesson. It reminds us that even with advanced technology, the human factor, especially clear communication, remains paramount in aviation. Every word spoken, every instruction given, carries the weight of hundreds of lives. The echoes of that collision continue to resonate in every modern aviation safety protocol, a testament to the lives lost and the lessons learned. It's a constant reminder that precision, clarity, and unwavering adherence to international standards are not mere suggestions, but the very pillars of safe flight. What other overlooked aviation events shaped the safety of the skies we fly today?